Hello friends, in today's video I am going to explain about conditional statements. These conditional statements will be very helpful when you want to execute a group of statements based on some conditions. There are different types of conditional statements. They are if else, nested if, switch. Now I'll explain about conditional statements in C language. If syntax and execution process. This is the fixed syntax of if condition, braces, statements. In if syntax, everything is mandatory. There is no option except braces. If you are giving only one statement in the if block, then you don't need to mention any braces. If you don't mention any braces, compiler will think that they should only execute the only single statement that is next to if condition. So if you have more than one statement, it is mandatory to give braces. If you only have single statement, it is not mandatory to give braces. This is the syntax of if. Now I'll explain about execution processes. While executing the program, whenever compiler encounters the keyword if, it will directly check for the condition of that particular if. Based on the given variables and values, if the if condition satisfies, then only the statements under that if block will start executing. Until then, they will not execute. If the condition fails, then the compiler will skip that block and immediately execute the next statement below the if statement. Now I'll show you real live example using if. Now I'll execute a program using if. For this program, I'll use a dynamic variable so that I can give my input while running a program. For that, I need a function called scanf. This is the syntax of scanf. I am mentioning here d because I am taking my variable as int. Data type is int, so I need my scanf. And this is the syntax of scanf. Ampersand is for pointing towards address. I'll explain that in another video. If a percent a percentile 2 equals to 0, printf given number is even. So let's run this program and see. In this program, what I'm doing is I will give a input when I'm running my program. So it means dynamic. I can change my input whenever I run the program. So I'll run the program. I'll give input. If that input is percentile by 2, percentile means when you divide a number using 2, if that remainder is 0, the condition will success. If not, the condition is fail. So this is the meaning of this program. Now let's run and see what will happen. Now see, we got the screen. I'll give 3 first. So I didn't give any statement for 3, so it's got wrong. Again, we will check 1. I'll give 2. See, given number is even. We'll run and see again. So see, this is the meaning of if. Now we'll discuss about if else. If else. So this is the fixed syntax of if else program in C language. If this condition satisfies, the compiler will execute the statements in the if block. What if the condition fails? So it is not necessary that always our condition satisfies, or if condition fails also, sometimes we need to do other works. So in that case we'll use else. If my condition satisfies, I'll have some work to do. What if my condition fails? I'll have another work to do. So in that scenario, we can use if else. This is one thing. And what if I have more than one condition? So I'll explain you. If you take as exams as example, if we have pass and fail, we have only one condition. If I got the marks more than this, if I have my cutoff as 30, if I have more than 30 marks, I'm pass. If I have less than 30, I'm fail. So I have only one condition, greater than 30, pass, else fail. Okay, then what if I have to give grades? In grades, it is different scenario, right? 90 above 1 grade, 80 to 90 1 grade, 70 to 80 1 grade. So I have multiple conditions. So in this time, I can use if else ladder. In this, I can give multiple conditions in the form of else if keyword. So when we have else if keyword, by using else if keyword, we can check more than one condition as a particular block. So you can say that we can use another if. So yes, we can use another if you want to check, but it is a comparison problem. Why? Because it will check this condition more than once. If this condition, else this condition, and again, it will gives rise to complexity. So besides of using that many ifs, we can use else if, so that the amount of execution statements can be checking conditions can be reduced. So we'll use if else ladder. Now I'll show you a real time example for if else and if else ladder. Now I'll run my code using if else. So as I said while explaining the code, I'll take exam result as my theme of code today. My input is a variable. As I said in if, I'll use a dynamic variable. So scanf percentile d ampersand a. So this is my input. What is my operation? Is to check the condition and give whether the student is pass or fail. So okay, for being more clear, I'll take as marks, and for more specific, I'll give printf enter your marks. So here it is not mandatory, just to know that what we are entering. I'll change the name of variable. Give as 0 also marks. If marks is greater than or equals to 30, printf you pass the exam. Else, as I said, we don't need any condition for else. Printf you have failed in your exam. So let's see how this will code run. I got some error. Yeah, I forget to give braces. Done. Entered marks, I'll enter 45. You cleared the exam. Now I'll run again and see. 28. Now enter your marks, I'll enter. You have failed your exam. See? So this is the meaning of if else. If my condition fails, then I'll execute statements in else statement. Now I'll explain using if else ladder. As I said, I'll take percentage as an example. So let's keep our marks as marks only. I'll change the condition here. If greater than or equals to 90, I'll have first class. First class, else if marks greater than or equals to 75. Printf second class. And save max greater than or equals to 30. Printf pass. Now let's see what will happen. First I'll give 94. I pass first class. I got first class. Let's check 80 second class. Let's check 25. You have failed your exam. I'll check 40 and pass. So this is the meaning of if else ladder. If I have more than one conditions to check, as I said before, we can use if for each and every condition. But the main problem is if this if condition satisfies in if else ladder, other if this conditions cannot be checked. But if you give if for each and every condition, if it, although the output is same, the compiler will check each and every condition. This is waste for compilation time. So to reduce the time, we'll use if else ladder. Now let's discuss about nested if.
Nested if. Nested if means a condition, if condition within another if condition. If I want to say in real time example, let's take example as our competitive exams of IIT. First of all, when you pass in JEE means only you have qualification grade advanced. If you pass in advanced only, then you have permission to join IIT college. Means if our first condition is JEE means, if you pass JEE means only, then our second if condition can execute, that is advanced. If you pass second if condition only, then we can enter into second if condition statements, that is joining into IIT college. So this is the thing. So we can also think, what if we don't pass in JEE means if you don't pass in JEE means there is no use to check for advanced, right? The people who are passing JEE only can go for advanced. So this is the meaning of nested if. In this nested if conditions, if in nested if, internal if can have if else and if else ladder, and this nested if can also use in if else ladder in everywhere. In this if a conditional blocks, each and every block can use in other blocks. But remember everyone, a if is cannot if can only executed without else and else if, but without if, else if and else cannot be executed. So if block should start with if, that is mandatory. It can end with else if or else, but it should compulsory start with if only. Now I'll show you a code based on nested if. Let's see the code based on nested if. I'll explain the same example using which thing I have explained in theory, that is college admission. So I'll take two variables, int JEE marks advanced marks. So first I'll take JEE marks, printf, enter your JEE result. So first I'll take the JEE result, scanner, %LD, ampersand JEE marks. If JEE marks is greater than 50 means I have passed JEE exam. Then I'll take printf, enter your advanced result. scanf if advanced mass is greater than 15, then printf you can enter IIT colleges. If my first step is failed, I means I didn't even pass my JEE, then I can't even write my advance, so I can't even enter my college. So I can directly write printf your cannot enter IIT colleges. So let's run this code and see. Enter the J result, so I'll enter 50, 55, so that I can enter my advanced result. I'll enter 56. So let's see. You can enter IIT college. Let's run this code again. So now my J result is 16. So my J result is 45. So see, you cannot enter IIT college. So if my result failed, I cannot execute this if statement. My if statement break, I directly enter into else block only. So we'll again run this code and see what will happen if we change the. Now I'll give my JEE result as 55, but I'll give my advanced result as 45. I have not given any output because I didn't give in any else statement. What if my second if fails? So if my second if fails, I don't have any else statement, so I don't got any output. Now I'll give else printf you cannot enter IIT colleges. Now let's see. I'll give my J result as 55, my advanced result as 60. You can enter IIT colleges. I'll run again. My J result is 60. My advanced result is 45. You cannot enter IIT college. I hope you understand what is the concept of if else, and nested if using these examples. And now I'll show you what if I have single statement. So in this I have only single statement, right? In this if and else. So I'm using braces to show you what if I have single statements. Enter a J result 55. Enter a J means 65. See, we have single statement, so it is executed with a brace also. Now I'll remove these braces. We have multiple statements in this. I mean, printf one statement, scanf one statement, this if block is one statement, and else block is less two. So let's see what error we'll get. Else is expecting a brace. Why? Because we have so many statements between. Means this if we'll take only this printf, and from here it will all give us another new statements. So this else does not have any if. This else is without if. So we are getting this else without if cannot be given. I'll copy this and I'll show you. Wait. So see, else without a previous if. What happened here means we have not given any brace here. So this if will only take this print statement in the block. So it will execute only this print statement. From this scan to all this will be separate out of the block. This will execute automatically independent from the condition. Now this scanf, this if else and else are does not depend on condition, so they are independent. Now this else is ifless, means this else does not have any if, so it is not possible in C language. I hope you understand now what is the difference between all different types of ifs. Thank you for supporting me.